consoles will become irrelevant. It doesn't matter what we do, it's going to happen. But when is that, and how will it come? Those are the questions. Let's talk about it. Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. This episode was actually inspired by a comment that Jersey Style left on my last video. We'll go read it right now. But thank you guys for your comments. I really do appreciate your subscriptions and subscribing to the channel and your comments. I really do thank you for watching me. And let me tell you, a lot of the best inspirations that I get for episodes actually come from interactions with you guys, like this episode here. And let me show you what the comment was so we can watch it here. Jersey Style said, good video. I'm not sure that I agree with mobile games. For sure will make consoles irrelevant eventually. We've been hearing that for a while, but I will agree at least it will make consoles like Amiga, Ouya, etc. struggle even more than they would have now. And that's true. That's true. I was saying that a lot of the mobile games, right, that the Amigo had, you could already play them on mobile games, right? Evel Knievel's the mobile game, Brain Duel, right? That's where the market is going. But to a broader point that he brought up here is that the consoles will be relevant in the future. Will they, right? There's a couple of things that we need. The company that I'm really worried about, let me tell you, the one that I see struggling is the PlayStation. This is the PlayStation throughout the years. Look, there's a Nintendo PlayStation. Oh, man. If that would happen, man, I still say to this day that if somebody wanted to make a retro game console, it would be something like this or the Saturn, where you have both a disc and a cartridge. Just my 10 cents. I wish somebody would make it, right? But the PlayStation model is limited. They're barely getting into the subscription models. And why do I say that? Because I think a lot of the future of video games has to do with bandwidth. Now, here in the U.S., we are the leaders for, a lot of things. But when it comes to video games, I think we have to, kind of tilt our head to Japan a little bit. But in the next generation of consoles, we're really going to need a lot of bandwidth. Here's the top 10 countries with the fastest internet on average. Check this out. This is as September of 2022, right? If it changed, it was very little from this. At the bottom, you have Kuwait. Saudi Arabia, Bulgaria, South Korea is up there. Denmark, the Netherlands, China, Qatar, UAE, and Norway at the top. Those are average connections, guys, but that's what you would need in order to bring the next generation of gaming. Now, what could that be? For me, I would say it would be a combination between, and I'm just guessing here, right? I'm just guessing that it would be a mixture of virtual reality and cell phone games. Something personal. I don't see people walking away from personal devices anytime soon, especially for kids, tablets. These kids that have grown up with these devices. Let me put something in context for you, right? Because a lot of times for us as retro gamers, we forget how long time passes, right? But there's a whole generation of people out there that their first experience with Pokemon was Pokemon Go. Those are facts. We're talking about, younger kids, a younger generation, that was their first Pokemon experience. That is nuts. When you reflect on that, that is crazy. From having Pokemon on a green Game Boy screen, right, to having them have their first experience be Pokemon Go is mind-blowing. But we have a whole generation of these children. When I look at my grandkids, and I've given you the example, and I think pretty much, I would say 10 and under is this generation who's mainly gamed on mobile platforms, right? My granddaughter with her Roblox. My grandson is Fortnite. He plays it in a console. He plays Modern Warfare, but he's more of a hardcore gamer. But then my other grandson, he's only played mobile games this whole life. He has no interest, right, in playing on a game console. And a lot of the game console influence for my other grandson, comes from me. But you're going to have a whole generation of kids that have no attachment to these products at all. at all. The name PlayStation, they're never going to wear this gear. Look at that. Oh man, this is one of my favorite guys. Look at that. Nice and comfy. They don't have these type of connections at all, right? And I'm worried about PlayStation in particular because they don't have a strong business model for the future. I know they're getting into VR, but right now VR is in its early stages, and until it becomes really comfortable, like a pair of glasses, I don't see it going a lot of places, right? The experience is just not good enough. Look at Facebook, right? They try to do it way too early, right? And basically what you have there is subpar video games that they're trying to make people play, and people have better experiences right now on consoles, and they have better experiences on mobile. The graphics look better on PC, right? So we're not there yet, and we're going to need a lot of bandwidth. But the companies that are positioning themselves for a strong future, in my opinion, again, this is not financial advice, and taking mine, I own stocks in all these companies, right? But if I had to short a stock long term, it would be Sony, because I don't believe they're creating the infrastructure that they need to build a strong future when it comes to gaming. Because in the future, you're going to have TVs that will be smart devices. So maybe they can go that way. Sony's TVs are going to be the PlayStation. Their monitors, their virtual reality sets, those are going to be the future PlayStations. Will you have a console? Maybe for the next 20 years. But after that, if we get the clouds as powerful as they need to be, there would be no need for the console, because you're having all your processing power done outside. And what really is going to make the difference is the display that you're playing it on. How you choose to enjoy that is going to be the difference. Because let's face it, even the games you buy today, if you get a CD, you're downloading most of the game. Basically, you're getting a code on a disc sometimes, right? Most of the game is downloaded off the internet, and it's a lot bigger than you could fit on a CD anyway, or a DVD or what have you. Man, I dated myself with a CD there, right? See, time passes by. It's going to be hard to say when consoles will die, right? There is no magic formula. There is no magic number. But I think there's going to be a couple of catalysts there. And one of them is going to be the efficiency of the cloud. Number two is going to be our bandwidth. If our bandwidth can get to the point where we don't have to struggle, with connection issues and stuff like that, and you can have a constant stream, man, that's going to be another world, right? I mean, just look at me. I just went out 2 days without internet here. The infrastructure isn't here in the U.S., at least where I live, right? And there's very few places that you can maintain that bandwidth right now. But in the future, right? In the future, if the cloud is running strong, if you have great internet connections, then you can do a couple of things, right? And consoles will become obsolete. You're not going to need that hardware in order to run these games. We're going to be relics of the past. How long will that take? I don't know. My guess would be 20 years, right? Just because we take our time. There's so many issues in front of us, wars and economic issues and stuff like that. So, that's not something that's going to happen overnight, because you're talking about a fundamental change in the way we're experience video games from an infrastructure perspective, right? It's going to be quite different. You're not going to need the console. The power is going to reside outside your home, and that is going to change things quite a bit. Now, will we get to play in the Oasis? Hopefully, when I'm retired, right? I don't want to look at my face anymore. I just put on my glasses and I enter a whole new world. But, I kind of like my world the way it is now. I enjoy my reality. So I don't know that I'm going to do that. And I'll probably just keep on hanging on to my consoles, even if gaming itself changes in a fundamental way. Will I try it? Yeah, why not? But, you never know. It's hard to time the market. It's hard to time the future. But believe you me, there will be a time when consoles are no longer needed. All right, guys. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for the subscriptions. Please hit the like button. It really helps out the channel. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to win the cloud wars? I think it's going to be a cross between Microsoft and Nintendo, to tell you the truth. I think they're best positioned to win the market long term, but nobody can predict the future. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every week. Make sure you don't miss out and subscribe.